Hello everyone, and welcome back to Grim Dawn. So I'm just looking through my inventory, and I'm going to use this chest armor here. Which, I lose out some spirit, but I actually gain energy regeneration. And this belt gives me... I don't know. Gives me some lightning and electrocute damage. You know what, I'm just gonna equip it. Ugh. Still trying to close these screens using spacebar. And again, I'm going to spend points up to 40 to get the proliferation. Yeah, apparently this just gives me more fragments somehow. And I missed this last time, but there's another thing to read here. Where are you? Criminal records, there. Leander Blackwater Green, ex-military man wanted for extortion and murder. Leander was dishonorably discharged from the Demolitions Division following a grisly civilian incident. Leander escaped custody on at least 2 separate occasions using unsanctioned explosive devices. News of sightings or proof of death should be brought before Warden Creek of Burwich Prison. A reward of 1,000 royal crowns is offered for the successful capture and delivery of Leander Green alive. Interesting. So the quest marker puts me... Sorry, go away, thank you. Puts me through here, so I'm going to go down there. It's possible that we'll actually kill the warden this episode, not quite sure. There's definitely a rift gate. Lots of coffins. Though I mean, if you're at the point of making... doing experiments on people that kill them in large amounts, would you really bother with coffins? I mean, if you're just going to bury them in some mass grave anyway. And just thinking about it, I mean, being the head of an evil ninja clan, I mean, if I were the head of an evil ninja clan, never mind, I don't know. I say don't bother with the coffins, just build a grave somewhere, put them in it. I have no idea if this is the right way. Okay, so I want to know what these eyes are. Okay, just offense stuff. Fine. I was thinking maybe there was some sort of like the slith necklaces. But maybe, you know, color-coded wrongly. By the way, I just read this on, don't even know where, some computer game news site. Valve have released an update for Half-Life 1. Fixing some crashes. I always think it's cool when, even in these very tiny ways, developers still give attention to their old games, because to me it shows that there's still passion, and that these games are still beloved even after all these years. it's not going to happen for, well, any AAA game released in the last 5 years, probably. Maybe something like Skyrim could, but they're not going to release 5 years later a stability patch for, I don't know, Watch Dogs 2 or any of the Gears of War games. I feel like if I continue down this road, I will just go on a ramble again, but my point is that I am now despised with the Ethereals. Just out of curiosity, how could I not be? They are the main enemies in the game. Wonder why the game tracks my reputation with them. But yeah, the AAA developers obviously have no interest at all in having someone play a game that's old. You're not meant to play Gears of War 1 at this stage, you're meant to play whichever one's the most recent one. And you're only meant to play that until they release the next game. So it's very annoying because I really like games that have replay value, and those are not popular right now. But what was it? As I said, I play Guild Wars 1. That game does not get updates anymore either because they've got a sequel out. But they've recently had a sort of change of personnel, and there's now a sort of new studio design lead, something. It sounded like a made-up job, but apparently they pay someone for it. And he gave a presentation that, or there was a kind of presentation video introducing him that's public, and it was just really depressing. The guy, he was supposed to be in charge of, at least in some way, of designing a game, and his whole presentation was not how can we make this game more fun, but it was always flowcharts about, you know, user retention rates and cash shop item money flow stuff. It was just awful. It removed basically the entire soul from the whole process. It was just about so we have done this, and it has made our profits from the cash shop grow by this much, and those sort of considerations, which are just ugh. I mean, it's fine if you don't want to make games, but then don't make games. And I don't know. I think back when it was not such an industry, there was more room for good games. There was also more room for failure, don't get me wrong. A lot of the stuff didn't end up working. Obviously, the way AAA is developed these days, they can't afford that, right? I mean, it costs millions to make AAA games now, and there's the ad campaigns and all that. They can't afford to take any risks. So it must all be sort of committee designed, having no corners or sharp edges where people might get annoyed by it, but also might get interested in it. You just don't see that in AAA anymore. That's why so many of these new releases, they just all play exactly the same, and you play them for maybe a few weeks and then it's over. I mean, even stuff that's hyped excessively. Like the Division or the Horizon Zero Dawn thing. Yeah, sure, it's cool for a while. But then the studio puts out the next game, and yeah, you're not supposed to play Game X when Game X Plus 1 has been released. Whoa. And I noticed this particular with the Horizon Zero Dawn thing, which just felt... it was just another sandbox. For some reason people thought, oh, this is going to be such a different game because of the setting, and I mean, it looks nice, I'm not denying that. It is a very good looking game. But, I don't know, it's just another sandbox. It plays exactly like that Mad Max sandbox game. It plays like all the other Ubisoft sandboxes. Actually, I'm not sure if Horizon Zero Dawn is Ubisoft, but they are the masters of the sandbox game. I don't know, I didn't play the game myself, so I can't quite comment on if the gameplay is actually different. I've watched a few people stream it though, and from that I did not get the impression that it's in any sense different. I mean, sure, the stuff is called differently, but once you translate what this game calls its currency into what other games call their currency, it's just identical pretty much. Okay, so we're going down even further. Another portal? Okay, I'm really piling them on here. I saw the crystal up there, I'm just doing the rounds. Yeah, I found that funny when that message popped up, the Ethereals now hate you. Yeah, I had assumed as much. I mean, they appear sentient. At least one of them wrote that journal entry that I read out at the beginning of the episode. Or at the end of last episode, actually. But yeah, I'm not sure there will ever be a point where we can negotiate and find common ground. Ancient armor plate. I don't know what that is. That has a different color. It's kind of yellowy. I can't oh, there it is. Okay. So it's a rare partial component, whereas these are just partial components. So it's like these, like all of these other components, but it's rare. So I need 4 of them to complete the stuff, and they're probably a bit better. Ugh, still trying to close the window using spacebar. Sorry. Okay, I'm guessing we'll have one more level up before we find the Warden, unless this is a really big dungeon now. Which is, I guess, possible. I've always got this instinct right now of pressing 3 to activate my speed buff, because, yeah, in Torchlight I've put my speed buff on 3. There's a very common spell you can get in Torchlight, which just gives you more movement speed. And level 19, that's cool. Okay. Da, 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 da. And character for 1 more point of spirit. As I said, I will stop speccing a glass cannon build when the game tells me to. By which point it'll probably be too late, but hey, who cares?
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, well then, let us rift travel to Devil's Crossing. And
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
I don't know if I really want to go through all of these. Okay, I'm going to equip this. Can I? No. Okay. I don't need the cunning. 5% is definitely less than the 21, but I gain Aether damage, which I'm not sure if that's useful, but more than cunning, which I have really not much need for. No, 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 no. Engine, no, no. Still interested in using this thing when I can. Oh, pants. Yeah, these are definitely better than my old pants. What about you? Oh, this is nice. This is cool. Has a random buff that can proc, which by the looks of it gives me elemental damage. And I think what this does is elemental damage. Generic. I'm guessing that elemental buff also applies to specific elements. And as I said, what I have is pretty generic. Oh, another amulet. Cold damage, frostburn damage, spirit. No, I'm good. Okay. Cool, cool. I have a bunch of finished components. I'm guessing these might have a use. Sorry, just trying to close there using the spacebar. These might have a use at some point. I'm just stockpiling them for now. Okay. I'm a little worried that I'm not going to be able to get to the warden this time around. I mean, does the map tell me anything at all? No, not really. I'm not necessarily insisting on exploring everything. I will at least kill everything that attacks me. I'm not quite so far gone that I'm going to run past enemies yet. That's a random freeze again. It happens. Freeze. Sorry. What do I fear? Oh, a ruined shrine. What do you need? You need aether crystals. You can have those. And then devotion. Okay, so health regen. Not too worried about that. do I get here? Okay. Apparently I can't even... Why is it popping up with this? I don't know. Could gain some cunning here. I don't really need that though. What does this give? I could activate it. Oh, there's just too much. It's not. The problem is that, as opposed to something like a sphere grid, you can't easily see which are just stat boosts and such. That it does just. I would have to mouse over every single one to be able to tell what it does. And I kinda wanna go. I don't even know where I wanna go. Fire and chaos damage, energy. That's just. Ugh. I mean, this is kind of nice. Do I want that though? Don't do vitality damage. I don't do lightning damage. I did the. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the episode here and have a look around. This just takes forever. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.